Shalom, brothers and sisters. Grace, mercy, and peace be unto you from Yahuwah, our Father, and Yahusha. He is the Messiah, the one that carries the burden of Yah, his voice, our high priest, soon coming King. Hear, O Yeshua, Yahuwah, who is our mighty one. He is one. There is no other mighty one in existence than Yahuwah, and Yahusha is his voice. This is Brother Dawood coming to you again to bring you YAHUAH'S Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread. By far, this is the most dangerous feast of them all. There are three main feasts. This one, the Passover, and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, has a penalty attached for the soul that eats anything leavened during this time shall be cut off from the congregation. In simple terms, death. Let's read what's in the picture. And you shall observe the feast of unleavened bread. For in this selfsame day have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Exodus 12:17. So the memorial is because he stretched forth his powerful arm with an open palm to deliver the children of Yisrael from the land of Egypt. He's going to do it again, a second time, to deliver us from the house of bondage. But look what it says in this passage. For in this self-same day, self-same, exact same day, here's another word, identical day. Note, this happened thousands and thousands of years ago. Is it possible to find the exact day, the identical day that they came out of the land of Egypt? The answer? Yes. Then you ask, how? And I answer, the path of years. Yah, in its infinite wisdom and mercy, stretched forth his arm in 2019 and showed us the path of years so that we could return to him, to his Shabbats, to his feast days, to his new moons. But our people are rejecting him. To do what? To control the weather? On paper? Making adjustments to the calendar? Hold it. If you're doing that, or if you are teaching anyone to do so, you're going to be responsible for having them to eat leaven on a high holy day. Let's begin. YAHUAH'S 23, 4-6. 4. These are the feasts of Yahuwah. Not the Jews, not the Israelite brothers, not people on the internet. Yah's feasts. Indeed, holy convocations, gatherings, which you shall proclaim in their seasons. Seasons? Are there any seasons on the moon? The answer is no. Where are the seasons? If you said the sun, you're right. So, what are we to follow? The sun or the moon? The moon is the sign of feast. The moon is the sign of the righteous. Look at the ancient script here. Ba Muadam. So instead of seasons, this would be appointments, plural, or appointed times. So all of your days, you can only find them on the moon. On the other hand, the moon will cycle back through all the seasons of the sun, and there's no way to stop it. Do you want to hear of a delusion? Them bringing it back to the equinox on paper does not stop the cycle of the moon and the heavens. Which one do you think Yah is going to follow? Your adjustment on paper or the cycle that he created in the heavens? 5. In the 14th day of the first month, in the evening, is YAHUAH'S Passover. Tell me something. If you add an additional month to the calendar, will you be in the first month? You will be in the second. You will not be on YAHUAH'S Passover. You'll be on the Passover of men. Listen to me. This is a statute. It tells you how to carry out any given law. Have you seen yet a statute that tells you to adjust the calendar to a 13th month if the barley harvest is not ripe, or if the fruit trees are not in bloom, or if the moon moves away from the sun in the amount of 30 days? If you find it, send it to me. 6. And on the 15th day of the same month, hold it 1 second. Let me clear something up to you, because some people think the 15th day is different from the 14th day in the evening. The 14th day in the evening is the beginning of the 15th day. So the 15th day and the 14th day in the evening is the same thing, just different speech. And on the 15th day of the same month, hold it, same month. Why is this statute speaking of the same month? Well, because we have some people who say that the beginning of their month is the full moon. If you count 15 days from the full moon, you're going to come to the dark moon. Then your feast will be in the next month. He's covered everything in this statute. So in the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread. That's unto who? The Israelite brothers? To the Gentiles? To the Jews? To me? To somebody on the internet? To Yahuwah. 7 days. You must eat unleavened bread. Now we know that there's a penalty behind it. Death. 7. In the first day, you shall have a holy convocation. Okay, the first day. Not the first day of the month. The first day of the feast. 14th day in the evening, which begins the 15th day. You shall have a holy convocation. That's a gathering. It's different. Everyone was to gather around the temple. You cannot do that here, of course, right? You shall do no servile work therein. You can't work on that day. But you can bake, you can boil, you can kindle a fire. Everything you need to do to prepare for your feast. It's a celebration. He removed the restrictions. 8. But you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah for 7 days. And in the 7th day of the feast, which would be the 21st, is a holy convocation, another gathering. You shall do no servile work therein. So the first day of the feast and the 7th day of the feast, you can't go to work on that day. But you can bake, you can boil, you can kindle a fire. Everything you need to do to prepare for your feast. Brother Daoud, in verse 8, it says that we have to offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah for 7 days. Could you tell me, how do we do that? You don't have to. The Passover lamb, the lamb at Passah, is in the heavens, covering you and your transgressions of the law. All you have to do is be on this exact same day, and he offers up the offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. Do you understand? So the high priest, Yahusha, HaMashiach, the one that carries the burden of Yah, has all of this handled. Devarim, chapter 16, 5-8, the 8th day. 5. Thou mayest not sacrifice the Passover within any of your gates, which Yahuwah Allah giveth you. Do you know that people today believe that they can make a sacrifice of the lamb? Our people are doing anything. Let me warn you in advance. If you sacrifice any lamb at Passover, you have violated. You have denied your high priest, who died for you, to be your Passover lamb, to cover you in the heavens. If you do that, you have no covering. 6. But at the place which Yahuwah Allah shall choose to place his name in, the temple or the tabernacle, there thou shalt sacrifice the Passover in the evening, at the going down of the sun. In case you didn't understand evening, at the season that you came forth out of Egypt. Okay, let's stick with season. What season did they come out of Egypt? Was it in the winter? Was it in the spring? Was it in the summer? Was it in the fall? There's 2 equinoxes. Spring to Africa and to Asia, where the rain, the dew, and the heat comes down, is in the fall months. The Jews have their first month of the year in the fall, not in the spring. So what season did it come out? You cannot tell. You will never know. There's only one way to know. The path of years. Every equation comes to life in the path of years, and every lie falls to the ground when you speak of the path of years. 7. And you shall roast and eat it in the place which YAHUAH'S shall choose. Roast and eat what? The lamb. And you shall turn in the morning and go into your tents. Got it. 8. 6 days you shall eat unleavened bread. But the Daoud, I thought we were to eat unleavened bread for 7 days. That is correct. The first day of the feast is in verse 7. You know, the lamb was sacrificed. It was roasted and eaten. They turned unto their tents in the morning. They went to sleep. When they woke up in the evening, it began the 6 working days. 6 working days thou shalt eat unleavened bread. And on the 7th day, you come right back to your regular weekly Sabbath. This 7th day, if you keep the count from the 14th day in the evening all the way back to your regular weekly Shabbat, which is the 22nd day, you'll have an 8-day count. It shall be a solemn assembly to Yahuwah thy Aliyah. You shall do no work therein. Now no work can be done. So on the 21st day, the end of the 7 days of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, you are to cook enough, store some up for the next day, for you come to your regular weekly Sabbath, and then the day after that Sabbath, you are to bring a sheaf to the priest. Brother Kuya's calendar. Thank you, Brother Kuya. For years, we've been working together as a perfect team. You do the visual aid, and I am the voice. Identify, brothers and sisters, day number 26 in red on Pope Gregory's calendar. Got it. Next to it, you'll see in blue, day number 14. That is the lunar event. Let's see what Brother Kuya put in the box. It's the 2nd Sabbath day of the month. It's a full moon outside. And the Passover will start in the evening. Got it. Let's go to the next box. 27 on Pope Gregory's calendar. The 15th day on the lunar calendar. Let's see what Brother Kuya put in the box. It's the 2nd Sabbath day. Still a full moon outside. It's waning. And it's day 1 of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. From here, we do our count. 7 days. Let's do it, okay? Let's stay on the lunar event. The lunar event is on the right. So we got 15 is 1, 16 is 2, 17 is 3, 18 is 4, 19 is 5, 20 is 6. 21 is 7. Let's see what Brother Kuya put in the box. It's the third Sabbath, in the evening, and day 7 of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. On this day you are to prepare enough for 2 days. Why? Because you go directly into your regular weekly Sabbath. You see it right there. It's day number 3 on Pope Gregory's calendar, but in the sky it's day number 22. Let's see what Brother Kuya put in the box. It's the third Sabbath day and the 8th day of the feast. So you see, even this feast has an 8-day count, because after this day, you are to bring a sheaf to the priest. Shalom.